Hello, we have created a student success folder for our documentation. It is on the screen on all of the computers in the Student Success Center. We've named it Student Success. The students would simply just double click on the Student Success folder. There they will find a link for an exit survey. They will find a link for the first session information. This is basically their 2T contract that the tutor will go over with the 2T. We have sign in instead of the old paper form. We have success stories, which a tutor or a 2T could share their experience in the center. We also have our tutor documentation in the student success folder. All of these were created in Google Forms. Let me show you the exit survey first. Once a student finishes their tutoring sessions, they'll complete an exit survey, again instead of the old paper copy, and they simply just click on whichever subject they were tutored in, the tutor that helped them, the day and time of the session, when their session was, just the basic questions, how our services were. There's a spot where they could even give some more detail, different techniques, for example, on this one, and different suggestions. Once they submit it, we would receive a report that's in the Google Drive. We also have first session information. When a 2T begins the very first session, a tutor will go over this contract with them. You will need to sign in for some items that we've created to make sure that they are actually a WVU Parkersburg student. The tutor documentation and the first session information, we have made it to where it's required that you sign in. As you'll see on the top, that way whenever we receive the information, we have noted it is actually a student. Anything that has the red asterisk means it's actually required. We have put that in the form, that way we know the student's name. Even though we do have their username, sometimes students forget to log off on the computer, so we want to make sure we have the correct person. Again, the tutor would just go over each statement. The student would simply click on the buttons that they understand. At the bottom, they can send themselves a copy of the responses instead of making a copy and giving them a sheet. And once they click submit, again, we will receive the information. We have the sign in. This helps us keep track of how many students use the center. As you see from our picture, we're usually pretty busy. The students just type their name, student ID number. Again, this helps us to recognize they are actually a student. They would click on what they're using the Student Success Center for. If they are being tutored, which subject. We tried to put a lot of different subjects to make it easier for the students, where all they have to do is click instead of a lot of typing. Again, they just click submit, and we would receive the report. The success stories is something new we started. A lot of students tell us their success stories. We decided we would give them a spot to be able to share their story. So we've created the student success stories, or success stories in the Student Success Center rather. And it just gives them an opportunity to tell their story. There's just a few suggestions. None of it is required. It's completely up to the student. Once they submit it, we would receive the information though. Last but not least, we have tutor documentation. This would require the student to log in. This way we know that it's actually the tutor that is documenting on their student. The student would let us know if they have any questions. We try to make that the very first box, so that's the very first thing that we see. They would put the tutee's last name and first name. Again, we tried to put a lot of links to where the tutor can really quickly just click on whichever subject they've tutored the student in. Just a few questions on if they were absent, did they let us know? Notes regarding the sessions. They can send themselves a copy if they want to keep track, or they click submit and then we will receive the copies. And that is the Student Success folder.